always want to do videos on like spookier topics, so I saved them all up for October. So, coincidentally, we are starting Spooktober off with a true crime video. You get 5 this month, and I've tried to pick like 5 either Halloween related or pretty creepy ones, so you'll definitely have to let me know what you think down below. This one is, I believe, going to be the shortest of the 5, and that is why I decided to lead with it. This is the case of Chelsea Bruck, and it is sad. So, every year in Frenchtown Township, Michigan, which is a very long name, a local musician would throw a huge Halloween party, and despite this case, I really wish my town did this, but around 1,000 guests would attend this party. They would show up in all-out costumes, and they would dance and drink until the early morning hours. So we're going back to 2014. Chelsea was 22 years old, and she had decided she had to go to this party, and she handmade her costume. Props to her for this. She decided to go as the comic villain Poison Ivy from the Batman film. She had attached these green ivy leaves to a top. She had worn black leggings and completed the look by covering her blonde hair with a black and dark red wig. Now, unlike the rather cold-hearted character of Poison Ivy, Chelsea was a compassionate homebody. She lived with her parents. She was the youngest of 5 siblings. She had 3 older sisters and 1 older brother. Chelsea worked as a waitress at a local restaurant called Olga's Kitchen. We have one of those near me. So good. I would be so fat because they have these little snacker things. All the time I'd be eating them. I digress. Chelsea loved to bake, and she had started to look into getting a culinary degree at Monroe Community College. She was raised on her family's small farm in the town of Aimee, Michigan. The blonde, green-eyed restaurant worker was well-liked, and she was known for having an optimistic outlook on life. Terry Carden, a former coworker of hers at Olga's, said Chelsea had this great big smile and a great big heart. So on October 26th of 2014, Chelsea headed to the large rural property where this party that I told you about was being held. She had a great time. She met up with her friends. They laughed and they danced to the live music. And at around 3 a.m., she was offered several rides home. But for some unknown reason, Chelsea didn't take any of these rides home. She left on her own. The next day, Chelsea's parents realized that she had not come home from this party, and they called around to her friends and decided they needed to report her missing. And the police took this really seriously. A massive missing person search began for Chelsea. The entire community turned out to help the police. There were posters everywhere, and over 1 million leaflets were distributed trying to find the 22-year-old. Her family pled for a safe return, and a $17,000 reward was offered for any information questioned, but they could only remember Chelsea leaving with an unidentified man. There were no real leads in this case. Over the next 6 months, Chelsea's loved ones started a campaign where their community was encouraged to wear purple ribbons and to display them at work and at home and in the community. Purple was Chelsea's favorite color, and they wanted people to remember she was still missing. She had not been found. They set up a headquarters and they continued regular searches looking for Chelsea, but they knew that the likelihood of finding her alive was very slim. The following year, in April of 2015, clothing was found at an abandoned industrial site. It was part of Chelsea's Poison Ivy Halloween costume. They found torn pieces of her top, pieces of her leggings, and a single red shoe. A few weeks later, on the 24th of April, the police were called by construction workers who were moving dirt to build a property, and they had uncovered the nude body of a young woman in the woodlands near train lines about 12 miles from where this rural Halloween party had been held. Dental records confirmed that it was Chelsea Bruck. Her autopsy revealed that she had died from blunt force trauma. She had also suffered multiple fractures to her face, and she had 2 chipped teeth that were not chipped before this. Chelsea had finally been found, but it only confirmed everybody's worst fears. Investigators found male DNA on Chelsea's leggings, but there wasn't a match in their system. Chelsea's family were understandably frustrated. Would they ever get justice for her? But the following year, a man submitted his DNA for a robbery case, and it flagged as a match to Chelsea Bruck's case. So if you're following along with the timeline, it's been 2 years. Daniel Clay, age 27, had a criminal record for breaking and entering, possessing controlled substances, and theft. But most importantly, he had been at that Halloween party on October 26th, 2014. A woman named Jessica Brittle, I believe is how you say her last name. You know me, I'm bad with names. She worked with Chelsea, and she had been involved with Daniel. In fact, they had a child together, and she remembers Daniel and someone else approaching a group, including her and Chelsea. But she really didn't remember much of the conversation between the 2 of them. It had been a couple years now, and it wasn't really relevant. Now, Jessica said she did smoke some pot with Daniel later on that night, and she remembers that the last time she saw Chelsea was at 1:30 in the morning. So, in the many months since Chelsea's disappearance, Jessica said she doesn't remember Daniel saying anything about Chelsea. Nothing about her missing. Nothing. But on the day that he was arrested, she got 2 voicemails from him while she was at work. And I don't know if this is just him like, oh, holy crap, and she was just the one he called, or I don't know the relevance. He told her that he was extremely sorry, and that he had messed up big time, and that he was going to be gone says that, yeah, he knew her, and they had hung out, and yes, he had killed her. But wait, before you charge me with murder, it was an accident. Okay. So, he is on video confessing that, yes, he had left the party, and he had seen Chelsea walking down the road by herself, holding her wig in her hand, and he had pulled up, and he had offered her a ride, and she said yes. They drove around for a little bit, and then they decided to get a little frisky, and he said that she asked him if he would choke her, and he did. He says that it was only like 20 or 30 seconds, and he further shared that she went limp after he had done this. He insisted to the police that he had tried CPR, but she just wouldn't wake up, so he panicked. He freaked out, and he says, I didn't call the police because I was afraid they would arrest me. So he drives around with her in his car, deceased, before stopping near some railroad tracks because he didn't know what to do. He then gets her out of his car, takes her towards this wooded area, and he buries her with tree branches, twigs, and leaves covering her. He says to the police, I didn't mean for it to end like this. But the police know Daniel's story just doesn't add up. And if you're keeping up with me, you know it too. Chelsea died from blunt force trauma, not asphyxiation. So, if the sex was consensual, why were her leggings ripped in the middle and her shoulder straps on her top were torn? Now, I'm not saying they didn't get so frisky that he ripped them, but, I mean, come on. No. It suggested that she had been attacked, and Daniel was charged with second-degree murder. This was then upgraded to open murder, which allowed the jury to consider a first-degree murder conviction. When Daniel went to trial in 2017, he took the stand, and he again insisted that her death had been a tragic accident. He had been trying to be a nice guy, and he offered a stranded girl a ride home, and it resulted in her death. Daniel said that he wept near her body before leaving her there. But despite his alleged guilty conscience, he didn't call the police. He didn't tell her absolutely distraught family where they could find her when they had made repeated pleas and the community was searching and searching for her. He couldn't explain to the jury or the prosecutor why it looked like Chelsea had been beaten. The prosecution said Daniel had seen Chelsea was alone, and he tricked her into getting into his car. He had then assaulted her and violently beat her to death. He had spent almost 2 years coming up with a story and only spoke out when he was caught, initially denying he'd ever been involved at all. The defendant murdered Chelsea Bruck and then discarded her lifeless, naked body, the prosecutor said. Clearly, he never wanted to be caught. The jury listened to hours of Daniel being interrogated after his arrest, and they made up their own minds. In May of 2017, he was found guilty of felony murder and concealing a body. 2 months later, he faced Chelsea's family at his sentencing. Easels displayed hundreds of photos of Chelsea, illustrating her life from beginning to end. Daniel made a statement and he apologized to Chelsea's mom, Leandra. I made a mistake, he said. I know I caused pain to the family and to the community. I am truly sorry. and showed astonishing compassion to the man who had coldly killed her daughter. Today, with the strength from Jesus Christ, I forgive Daniel Clay. I do not want my Lord to ask why I could not offer forgiveness to Mr. Clay, she said. Leandra was dressed in Chelsea's favorite color, purple, and said that although she could forgive, she would not forget. The judge didn't believe that Chelsea's death was an accident, or even that Daniel was genuinely remorseful. I spent 10 days in trial with Mr. Clay, and I listened to countless hours of him changing his story every time the detectives questioned him or brought up something new, he said. It is very clear to me, Mr. Clay, you are a liar, a rapist, and a killer. Monroe County Circuit Judge Daniel S. White said, on July 25th, Clay was charged with second-degree murder. Oh, I already told you that. I should get my notes together. So, I'm sorry, on May 16th, he was found guilty of first-degree murder, and on July 13th, 2017, he was sentenced to life in prison. The condition of our world is not the way our Lord intended it to be, Chelsea's mother told the media after his sentencing. If you see something, please say something. Also, another important lesson from the laws of Chelsea, do not leave your friends alone. If you go somewhere, anywhere, as a group, please leave with that same group. Do not leave your friends behind. So, I hate this case. This is one of those cases that I was talking about prior to this. It could go either way. Do I think that he deserves life in prison? I don't know. Maybe part of what he said was really the truth. It was an accident. But here's the thing. I don't understand, in all of the cases I've covered on my channel, how many, we're at video 300, probably 400, if you count Patreon. I was listening to a podcast today, and it said, like, 70% of people who commit murders don't actually, like, mean to do it, that they just snap, and the murder is the result of the brain just, like, losing control. And I think they said, like, 25% of people actually don't end up remembering the actual crime. Like, your brain just erases it. So, in this case, I'm torn, and you guys know I'm a very sympathetic person, and I always try to treat people how I would want to be treated. And yes, I could say that this guy is this violent offender, murderer, who assaulted her and covered her with leaves. I definitely feel that. Do not get me wrong. Do not. But I also think that there is the potential that, I mean, it could have been an accident. Now, she was beaten, blunt force trauma, her teeth were chipped. So I have to lean towards it probably was not an accident. This guy assaulted her and then left her in the woods. That sucks, you guys. This is one of those cases that really, really tugs at me, because it's just like, dude, I'm sure you could have found somebody that wanted you. Instead, you had to forcibly take it. And then, not only did you forcibly take it, but you killed her. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I want her to live with this assault for the rest of her life. Having experienced that myself, it sucks. But she would still be alive, hopefully. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that this guy was an A1, class A1 creeper. And I think it sucks because she she was so optimistic and she had all this stuff going for her in culinary school. I hate to see such a genuine light snuffed out by some creepazoid. Tell me if you feel the same.